Okay, so for this project, me and Jordan decided to make an air hockey video game that has online multiplayer functionality. So first thing we did was make a detailed plan about what we do for the week, and then I went on to try and figure out the online multiplayer as well as player movement, just make a basic script for playtesting, while Jordan went and did graphics for the game. On day 2, I got a actual connection working so that you could create and join rooms and have multiple people playing in a single level. And Jordan started working on puck physics to get the puck to actually interact with all the players. And on day 3, I started working on the boundaries for the player so that you couldn't just go into the other players, like go onto the upper part of the screen, as well as make it so when you join, it flips the screen, and so that you basically have you're in your own part of your arena. And Jordan continued on puck physics, which he got working by the end of the day. By day 4, Jordan had finished all of the artwork for the main level, so I started implementing all of that into the game and redoing all the boundaries so that the player wouldn't just go off screen, or so you can make the player go off screen. On day 5, I continued to work on some of the spawning issues so that you'd spawn in the right areas, and Jordan started working on some of the UI for the levels. One of the issues I constantly came across was just forgetting to set objects, and another one was I'd put multiple player objects in a scene that weren't supposed to be there during testing, and then when I'd build a game to get friends to test, I'd have multiple objects in a scene that are all getting moved by one player. Day 7 was the second last day of the project, so it was one of those rapid iteration days where I was trying to smooth out a lot of the online networking issues where there'd be massive delays or the players just would be really glitchy on the other player's screen and be in completely different spots of the screen. So I spent most of Thursday, which was the last day, just fixing those issues and trying to smooth out some bugs. Day 8 was the final day of the project, and Jordan had the day before finished doing all the UI for the game. So I took his UI and plopped it in the Unity project that I had been using for the final version of the game, and then was working on a few more bugs and just cleaning up the game and making a final build version at the end of the day. At the end of this project, I came away knowing a lot more about online multiplayer than I originally had, and it was fun figuring out how the different players would sync and how they do that in most games. One of my favorite tutorials that I used for this project was a tutorial from Blackthornprod showing how to sync the location of players, but the only issues I had with the game mainly was with the puck. Jordan did a great job at figuring out the puck physics, but unfortunately, due to how the online multiplayer worked and the ownership of basically the puck object, it wouldn't work smoothly, and many times the second player who had joined the game would not really be able to hit the puck properly to score. All in all, me and Jordan came up with a pretty good working project,